Mutations! Originally, I planned to end this with Destination X 2012, but that pay-per-view had Bound for Glory implications, and the actual pay-per-view I reviewed yesterday was actually quite good. Not great, but good enough for my curiosity to win out in the end and say, one more time, this is Bound for Glory 2012. Mike today, and it's Taz! Back again. We open with the X Division title on the line. Rob Van Dam. The opening match. Before people sang along to Judas, they got loud for Rob Van Dam. Easy to chant with. Theme's over. RVD is always over. I can see if any titles changed in the 4 months I went from July in Destination X to October here in Bound for Glory. None so far. So Zema Ion's still the champ, getting built up now by being what sounds like a very TNA thing to do. He injured Sorensen on accident. Now he's being built up as someone who's going out of his way to injure people. Flamboyant but dangerous. Not something you can really do with Rob Van Dam, who's an extreme superstar. He's used to... Not from lack of trying, mind you. Ion over the top rope flips almost over RVD onto the guardrail, but manages to save himself. Really cool spot. But yeah, he makes a mistake of getting into a striking game with him. Rolling Thunder 5-star frog splash and new X Division champ, Rob Van Dam. Television title on the line next as Magnus, who you may know him now as NWA's former world champ, the national treasure Nick Aldis. He's got the same Titantron look Douglas Williams had. Maybe they're stablemates. Maybe just an example of LOL TNA. Who knows? So who's the TV champ? Nation of Violence. If I recall, the TV Championship was the title formerly known as the Legends Championship that Booker T brought in. I think it currently got discontinued when it fused with the World Championship. From Bobby Lashley, I'll be a sumbitch. Joe immediately with the offense, Magnus more thinking man heel with an attack over the ref's back. So, Magnus can do his strength game on display. Goes for top rope and lands crotch first into Joe's massive knee. Oh, I ain't even gotta ask. Because I know the answer. Magnus fighting to escape Joe's STF. Joe managed to get both arms behind, so Magnus using that long frame of his to get his leg on the rope to break it. Magnus this time does get his high-risk move in a close 3. Begins to work the leg of Joe, about to apply figure 4. And, the second he's, behind his back to Joe, boom. He grabs him in the clutch. Magnus taps and Joe retains. Street fight up next as former Beer Money members go at it. Bobby Roode versus the Cowboy, James Storm. Jimmy Borash with Roode in the back. Roode says, 1 long year this has been building. This hatred between us has been going a lot longer. King Mo, if you think you're stopping me from ending James Storm's career tonight, you're mistaken. You've never beaten Mood Storm. I sent you away back in lockdown, and tonight I end it for good. They show the history between the two, Beer Money, and how Roode stole a win and took the championship from James Storm, and that took that reign 8 months long. So yeah, former MMA fighter King Mo, special guest enforcing this match. I couldn't tell you what if he was MMA, or Bellator. But yeah, he's the special guest enforcer just to keep things as not getting at all crazy as possible. Because these two have been back and forth, Pearl Harbor one another, beating each other up, probably getting involved in others' matches. Even the promo segment showed Bobby Roode costing James Storm a chance to compete in the Bound for Glory, or at least get more points or something like that, because he attacked him with a beer bottle again. Mo is not playing favorites here as these two competitors start fighting in the ring and out of the ring. Bobby getting thrown into guardrails and chairs. James Storm gets slingshotted into the post. Already a crimson mask for Storm. I hear Muda scale, and that's what made me think of that term, because damn, he cut something he wasn't supposed to cut. Wow, that was... Gets a trash can. Storm with a kendo stick to the can placed between. You guessed it, has he nuts. But seriously, the more Storm wrestles, the redder he's getting. DDT Rude Randy Orton style out on the ramp. When he has, the feet dangling on the middle rope and just drops him. Vintage Orton. A fan gives him his crutch to hit Bobby Roode with, does so and gives it back. These two are just cranking each other with objects. At some point, Roode's opened up. Nowhere near the amount Storm is, but both men bleeding. Cowboy takes Roode over to the table, and Roode spears him off onto another table, the Spanish announce table. Why do they get just a regular table, and these guys get like the glass with the monitors, all the fancy shit? Not cool, TNA. Not cool. Roode starts shoving the ref. Mo decides to step in. He gets shoved too. Gets shoved back into a waiting Storm, who hits the last call super kick for almost a 3. Roode finally gets that corner chair spot in on Storm, almost a 3 himself. Roode finds that black bag in all these matches. To see a thumbtacks, like probably more thumbtacks than I see a Bez bring in. Like, wow. Like, even from far away, you could see, like, them littered. Like, far away camera shots. Roode gets shoved off the top rope from a superplex attempt. Top rope elbow from Storm, still not 3. Low blow. Roode gets out some beer bottles, akin to how this rivalry began. About to hit him. He gets low blowed. So that's 3 How's Your Nuts in one match. That's why I'm bothered to stop asking here. Cowboy with their beer bottle. Wham! Pulls Roode up, super kicks him to fall backward onto the tacks. Storm finally beats Bobby Roode. Even King Mo at times during this match was like, what the fuck? I looked him up. He's a wrestler now, so maybe this match is the impetus to him changing professions. This fucking guy here. Porn stash Joey Ryan incensed at Al Snow for being told no, despite the fans' majority saying yes. Yeah, this was the gut check challenge where wrestlers would come in and either win, lose, or draw, fans' percentage vote, and 3 judges decide whether you get a contract or not. For Joey Ryan, the majority of the judges say no, which upsets him, even though the fans were like, it was like 80-some%. So he's interrupting, he berates, he's out in the crowd, sneaking attack. Snow strikes back and Ryan threatens to sue, so Snow comes up with a contract for 1 night at Bound for Glory. Win and you're an Impact star. Match starts with Al Snow taking the position like you know that wrestler position where they're on they're like kneeling position, like on the floor, just like, hey, come on, wrestle me. But yeah, he's like trying to show off, like, hey, new guy, try to out wrestle me here. Ryan hot dogging against a seasoned vet like Al Snow. This guy's been wrestling since New Gen era WWF, like New Rockers member Leif Cassidy. Al's still in amazing shape, putting on a clinic for a while until Ryan gets a chance to attack after the ref thinks Snow's getting a little too hands-on. It's an excuse for the match to start to turn in Ryan's favor. Again, as Snow goes for head, and the ref stops this, leaving Ryan to make out with it. Giving Snow enough time to trap Joey Ryan in between the ring and the apron to beat down on him some more. I always thought that spot was really cool. Like stick him in the middle of the ring, like the covering part. So he's like between the covering of the apron and the side of the ring itself, and he just feels like a safer kind of tree of woe spot, if you can even call it that. I don't know what spot you'd even call it, if there's even a term for it. But yeah, he's about to finish him off. Matt Morgan attacks Snow and rolls Snow in. Joey Ryan gets the 3 and is now a member of the Impact roster. Our third championship match, the Tag Champs, Bad Influence of Christopher Daniels and Kazarian, the best tag team in the business, versus AJ Styles and Kurt Angle, versus Hernandez and Chavo Guerrero. Triple threat. I see Kurt come out, and in the crowd, I see, that's Wes Briscoe. Oh my. We're about to reach LOL TNA again for quite a while. Tag Champs earlier say, these 2 teams might ally and team up against us. But it is normal rules, so first pinfall to a finished wins the tag title, so... I mean, I could still see it, but it's not like Tornado Tag. That would work even less to their advantage, I would think. I guess that's what a 4-sided ring gets you, though, the tagging triple threat. That's the biggest hurt of TNA. You know, they were unique rather than settling on just different now with the 4 sides. Like, they never got the 6 sides back. Why? I don't know what's holding them back to do that again. I guess they're just more used to it. I guess the wrestlers that came in more used to 4 sides. Still, a return of Supermex tossing dudes around like they're weightless, so... A lot of sneaky tags from Bad Influence trying to take advantage of other teams' offense. Smart heel shit. But yeah, with triple threat tags, cutting the ring in half is suddenly a little bit harder. there's only like one neutral corner to throw him in, or while you're beating on somebody, nobody else just like taps you on the back and ref goes, tag! And okay, so, now you gotta get out. Still most of TNA's finest, though, and Chavo Guerrero. So I'll take it. Hot tag from AJ to Angle, and he's cleaning housebound near the end. Poor Kaz taking these suplexes from Angle right on the back of his head. It looked like, ooh. Tandem offense, but Angle literally fighting off both members of Bad Influence. Super Mex Hernandez can fly. Holy shit, I marked out for this. But yeah, this was the everybody dive out of the pool spot of the match. Chavo stays in with Angle and Three Amigos him. You can't suplex Kurt Angle, he's just going to angle slam you, and he does. Angle sent out as Styles tags in. Best moonsault ever from Daniels on AJ. Almost a 3. Like, we bring it back to Daniels Styles for a while until Supermex gets in. Border toss, frog splash. New tag champs, Hernandez and Chavo Guerrero. Wah, wah. Knockouts title match up next. Champion versus Mentor, they pitch this as. I think it's their third match. Brooke Tessmacher versus Tara. I think Tessmacher, like, after she got deposed as secretary by Eric Bischoff, if you know your wrestle. Now she's part of the Knockouts division. And as secretary, she got all high and mighty, call them all skanks and everything, and now nobody wants to do anything with her. No one wants to train her. I guess Tara did, or something like that. Maybe she felt sorry for her and decided to show her the ropes. Tessmacher's like, Tara taught me everything. There's a open fight night, which that's when a TNA wrestler comes out and on mic challenges anybody in the back. But yeah, everybody's card is open fight night, which I always thought was pretty cool. She challenges Tara. Tara wins the open fight night, so she's number 1 contender. She's like, oh, she pinned the champ. And the pay-per-view previous to this, I forget which didn't see the name. It seemed like last pay-per-view. Brooke wins the title defense, prompting a heel turn to bring us here for Tara Tessmacher 3. British Boot Camp in the crowd. Rockstar Spud, baby! I literally don't even remember the other 3 he was sitting with. And believe it or not, is with Renee Michelle. Talking about winning outside the wrestling business. Damn. Speaking of winning outside the wrestling business, so to speak, Tara mentions her boyfriend from Hollywood is going to be watching. We got Terrence O'Rell as I believe she's the Knockouts ref. I've seen a ref for all the promo packages leading into this match. I literally don't even remember Tessmacher ever being Knockouts champ. So she's losing now to the experience of Tara. Didn't give too much attention to this one. Widow's Peak and your new Knockouts champ, Tara, who quickly on mic says, I did this for my perfect Hollywood boyfriend. You might have seen him on TMZ already. I'm like, that's not the same fucking thing as Hollywood. That could describe any Joe Schmo. She introduces her boo, quote, unquote, from Big Brother, Jesse Goddard. And I look this guy up. I'm like, wait, who's he again? I don't watch Big Brother, so I don't know. I mostly remember this guy from being one half of the Bromance tag team with Robbie E. Next match is a no DQ tag team with high stakes, boys and girls. This is the beginning of the newest heel faction, the Aces and Eights. Promo package of them kidnapping Joseph Park. The everyman suit and tie gimmick of the Monster of BS. Hulk Hogan says, I'll come to your clubhouse if you let Park go, brother. Sting, who was the first to deal with these attackers on a Hall of Fame induction, decides, I'm gonna fight with you, Hogan. So a deal for tonight's match is made. They get brought into the clubhouse. Pick 2 guys to step in the ring with 2 of our members. We win, we get full access to TNA. You win, we're gone. Sting decides on Anderson, but he gets laid out. For weeks, Bully Ray's been wanting to beat these guys down, wanting to prove himself. It takes some talking to from Sting, but Hogan finally agrees. So it's the tag team of Sting and Bully Ray, both men painted up. Sting wearing a Bully Ray shirt. Unity! 2 masked members show with Joseph Parks from the crowd and cuff him to the guardrail, and here we go. Possible spoiler alert? I'm just guessing who the 2 masked men. I think one of them is Mike Knox. They're both kind of tall. One looks more muscled than the other one. Maybe Doc Gallows? I don't know. Bully about to swing with the steel chair. A long-haired Aces and Eights member asks Bully, has you nuts, and spits in the face of Joseph Parks, and this is enough to set him off. He can indeed break those cuffs, or at least the chain the cuff was on. He yanks it off, and now Parks is all over this guy and chases him off. Break those cuffs. That was a 2012 meme, wasn't it? So yeah, he fights them off. We're back to 2-on-2. Doomsday device from Bully and Sting. Sting asks Bully, get the tables. Another fully masked and fully clothed member shows up. Like no open sleeves, attacks Bully from behind. He gets put through the table, and the faction gains access. All members in ring. Out comes Hogan very slowly. It's the same spot you always get. He's walking out to the ramp, to the ring, very, very slowly. So people gotta run up to him and meet him on the ramp as Hogan does like the block, punch, sandwich time. Hogan asking the fully clothed guy, you. They unmask him. Not too long ago, a man who Bubba heel turned on to become Bully Ray, former TV champ if I recall, it's Devon. They're all shocked and the Aces and Eights back off through the crowd. Main event! The charismatic Enigma versus Austin Aries, who's healing out a little bit right now because they're all in on Hardy and has come back from another day that would live in TNA infamy in Victory Road 2011. So yeah, Jeff's working face now. He kind of looks like if Jeff Hardy's face paint took on a little of Pentagon Darks. I always really like the, where he has like the eyes, the face paint over his eyelids and then he opens his eyes. That was always a cool spot. That's got to take some sort of commitment. These could never do that. But yeah, this match gets almost a half hour. After that incident in 2011? A lot of faith in one guy did not have so much faith in. But he won his way through the Bound for Glory tournament to get here, so. And a lot of faith in another guy to never will again have faith with. But both these guys starting off with battering each other, throwing them into the barricade. Aries literally turned upside down into the ring steps. Jeff trying to showboat, and Aries catches him and limits that with the holds and ground game. Crowd very split down the middle with a let's go Aries, let's go Hardy. Hardy with the beginning of what looks like a powerbomb that ends up somehow with an over-the-top release suplex. Both Aries going face first instead of back first. Yeah, they gave me a replay of that so I could look at it and try to even begin to describe that move. Aries a bit opened up, doing crazy dives to the guardrail just to keep Hardy down long enough for a 3. After Aries zeroing in, drops Hardy's back of the head in between the ring apron and entry ramp. Real nasty. Takes a little too long to do what he needed to do to finish him off so Hardy can fight back. Jumping top rope Hurricane Rana from Aries. Dropkick brainbuster. Somehow Hardy kicks out of all this. They were split, but there's some out there that are like very vocal boos for Jeff Hardy. They're starting to become way more vocal again. I think they wanted Aries to retain out here, but no, 4 short months after his Destination X cash-in, we got to put the belt back on Jeff Hardy. Still a really good match. 2 talented guys trying to literally one-up the other. One of those can you top this kind of matches. So only Samoa Joe managed to retain his championship in this pay-per-view. For me, curiosity, well, it may not have killed the cat. The cat got water on him accidentally, and he's freaked out, running around going, I'm hit! With the women's titles match and the Aces and Eights match, and then the main event that followed was this really good back and forth, but again, I'm just having this dread feeling of you give that belt back to the guy who we let out go in no condition to wrestle now, and gave us a black eye. Like, regardless of how I feel about Austin Aries outside the ring, I was very torn. Because if I recall, Aries was X Division champ for a full year. He offers it up to get a shot to be world champion just 4 months later. I mostly did this to see how the Bound for Glory tournament ended, and if Sanjay Dutt ever does become X Division champion. The answer is yes. It took another few years in and out of Ring Ka King and in and out of Global Force Wrestling. So 2 failed Jarrett projects, and 5 years in, he finally gets to win the X Division Championship in 2017 at Slammiversary 15 for about 90 days. He did all this while working as a backstage producer. According to Wikipedia, This would be his last match. He had to have surgery on a torn Achilles and doesn't wrestle anymore. He's since produced from Impact before they fired him, and then he worked in WWE before they fired him, and is now currently working AEW. But that's it for Bound for Glory 2012. If I can find more stuff like this to review, I shall. But for now, like I said, gotta take a break and push towards the stuff for December I said I was gonna do. I think I might take the whole week just to... because in all this, I'm still playing the game I'm supposed to review next. But with that said, take care, and thanks for watching.